Alright everyone, morning. Hope you can hear my audio and everything. How's it going? Setting up these streams is always so difficult for me. There's too many moving parts. I'm just gonna mute the stream on my end 1 second. Sup. Okay, the stream should be working. We got news at 8:30 today. Setting up these streams is always so difficult for me. There's too many moving parts. I'm just gonna mute the stream on my end 1 second. Okay, cool. All right, we got news at 8:30 today. Looking for buy side delivery on the Nasdaq. So higher time frame, right? Make sure I got all my levels on my main chart. You guys should be able to see my main chart here. All right. We're looking to see if we can reach up into all of these key levels today. So we're framing a weekly market maker model, right, into a weekly PD array, internal range liquidity, into a 4-hour market maker buy model. So we're looking to reach from this internal range now, right, on the weekly with SMT. We also have the higher time frame SMT right here with the ES. Nasdaq trading below into this inefficiency. Okay, so this is our higher time frame context, moving from the internal range on the weekly. Now I do not expect to come back in to this weekly external range high. However, as a part of this weekly wick, I have a premium, right, wick marked out. So this is the wick CE of this large last week's wick, essentially from last Thursday's reversal, right? So that's an area of interest I have marked out in my weekly chart, right? Daily chart, we form that SMT inside of this fair value gap. 4-hour, respecting that bullish order flow, right? Most importantly, yesterday, what was critical to me is that we closed within this breaker. There's some time distortion in here, right? So I don't mind about this 6 to 10 p.m. candle. Doesn't bother me too much. And then you can see we now have this inverse volume imbalance, right? This area, the gap down, now offering this essentially the new day opening gap. Price is referring back to that new day opening gap for support, displacing higher, right? We have equal highs in the form of 2 forms of equal highs on this 4-hour chart, which we can label as a form of inducement of the markets, right? So we have equal highs up here, and we also have equal highs up here. These both rest below our buy side liquidity targets, right? Which leads into our daily inefficiency. So I got a lot of levels on my chart, but essentially we're looking for, a move into this daily imbalance, right? Framing this 4-hour market maker buy model. You can also use some projections like this. So the thesis has remained the same for me majority of the week. Still looking for that move, right? Higher. And yeah, we have news at 8:30. So as you guys know, the general protocol for news is that if 8:30 manipulates, we're gonna have distribution on the second news folder. So at 10 a.m. we have 2 news folders today. If we get manipulation beforehand, might distribute on both, or we could distribute on one and reverse on the other. We have to really see how order flow kind of like how we print before we go into the news candle. What I'm gonna pull up the YouTube stream on my second monitor so I can see any comments you guys have. That might be helpful. Alright, I got it. Cool. There we go. Sorry, my screen might have went black there. You should be able to see it now. Is there a reason we're not looking towards the ERL high? Yeah, so good question. The reason why I'm not looking towards external range high is because we have this high resistance liquidity run area here. So you can notice in comparison to previous weeks, like for example, last time we traded into weekly external and we had created this series of failure swings, right? This is low resistance liquidity. Go on your chart and confirm that, right? This down here is weekly internal. So we went from weekly internal to weekly external because we had that low resistance liquidity run. Now, the difference is now is that here we have this high resistance liquidity run, right? Where we traded above this high, broke structure and changed state of delivery lower, right? So now coming back all the way into this high is higher resistance because we have to move our way through this bearish breaker. This all becomes, right, resistance in the market for price to move through. So it's a low, high, lower low. That's why my targeting is more conservative today, just looking for the internal range. Alright, so that's kind of the concept I'm utilizing right now to frame, this retracement back into internal range liquidity, as opposed to maybe a move all the way into the external range highs. This would be, for example, up here would be the previous week high, and I don't expect price to reach into this, right, external range previous week high. I would prefer to see price actually reach into potentially the wick, right, this premium wick, like that. I have a lot of key levels on my chart though, so anything in that area works for me. Just looking to complete this buy model, realistically trading into these external range highs is my objective for today. Yeah, good question, bro. Yeah, you might be able to hear my my fan below me. It's a heat fan because it's kind of cold here. I'm on the West Coast, so it's like 4 in the morning or 5 in the morning. It's cold here. Are you looking to trade at 8:30? Yeah. If I get some sort of setup in the market before the first folder, I'll look. So right now we have this hourly imbalance, which I'm considering. I'm looking at the structure that we're forming off this hourly imbalance. Right, we have this SMT that exists now inside of this hourly imbalance. So that's nice. Alright, let's mark out the buy side on the ES as well, just so we can look for SMT divergences if they form. Yeah, I like these London highs here. Cool. So as you can see, we trade back into this internal range liquidity on the hourly, and we form an SMT at these lows with the YM. Right down here. That's our SMT inside of our hourly context area, right, which is this hourly fair value gap. So now what I'm looking for is to potentially see the inversion of this 15-minute array, right? And then I can look for some sort of potential entry inside of this 15-minute inversion if we get that. Now ideally, because we've seen manipulation before the first news folder, we get distribution higher immediately, but we also have this sell side liquidity on the ES, so we might trade lower into it first. Again, we have to recognize the possible, right, the possible manipulation of that first folder. However, we have the conditions necessary to see expansion on the first folder since we've manipulated beforehand into this hourly imbalance. So I'm going to be watching this 15-minute fair value gap because you can see we're starting to form some wicks in here. I want to see price close through this 15-minute imbalance. Buddy, can you go sit down? My dog's like riding all up on me. Come here, bud. Nice. Nice. Yeah. Thank you. Morning, swoosh. Do you think we have a New York manipulation? Yeah, we did get some manipulation in Asia. So Asia formed the SMT at the previous day low, and then New York came back in. So if you look at the order flow on the hourly, right, we have a couple of inefficiencies that we've been rebalancing and redistributing along the way. So we actually are getting the profile necessary for expansion on news and not manipulation, because you can see we're trading back into inefficiencies and then leading to more displacement, right? So we're respecting the order blocks that are being created. We're respecting, these imbalances on the hourly time frame. So I don't need to see the folder manipulate below these lows. This has been offering retracements as we've moved higher. Right, if we had, for example, generated low resistance liquidity, and we had not, traded back into these imbalances on the hourly time frame, for example, then yeah, I would suspect potentially some manipulation lower. We have the profile necessary to reach in for an expansion. We have to be wary because we have two news folders, right? So our first news folder, right, in here you can see on our 4-hour chart, we're forming this wick here, but there's no imbalance in here because it's been redistributed on the hourly chart. You can see it came into this imbalance, came into this imbalance, and now we're respecting these lower time frame order blocks, right? So yeah, I don't necessarily need to see price trade lower on news first. Come here. Nice one. My dog's like, why are we up so early? Why is my room comically small? This is not my room. This is like a this is an office I'm using right now. I'm moving on Friday. I'm on the West Coast right now, visiting some family, and I'm moving. I don't know what my dog's doing. I'm moving back to the East Coast on Friday, so I'll have a less comically small room. I like that though. This 15 minutes still closes below this inefficiency. So it's just watching for now. I'm not in a major rush to get involved in the first folder. Where are you moving? I'm moving to Toronto for 6 months to a year, and then looking to get my visa approved. Try to move to eventually, I think, Miami, but waiting on my visa. It takes some time. Morning, Deepak. What's up? Buddy, come sit here. There you go, come. Come here. You're an insane dog. Yeah, I lived on the East Coast, like in Toronto and New York for several years, and then I moved back to the West Coast just for a bit, and now I'm going back. Yeah. Okay, I want to see how we treat this 15-minute imbalance leading into the folder. Right, we're just kind of chopping in here, so for me it's like if we can close through this down close candle, which creates the SMT. Yeah, so the midnight opening price, good eye. So if we look at where the midnight opening price is, I'll put that on my chart. Right, we can put our midnight opening price right here. It's this gold line, and you can see that right here, right, the midnight open, we barely come below it. So if price fails to trade below the midnight opening price, it's extremely bullish. Okay, one second, my dog's biting me. Megan, come here. Nice. Down. Thank you. My dog's like, I need all your attention right now. I don't care about what you're talking about. When price fails to trade below the midnight opening price, as you can see here, it's extremely bullish for that day because price is immediately starting to spool higher. ICT talks about that a bit. It also means that the daily candle in terms of the true day open has not offered a wick. However, we had this trade, this move lower in previous day low SMT. So you can see that this daily candle, not the true day, but the daily candle, has formed an SMT. And now failure to manipulate below the true day shows extreme bullishness in price, which we expected, right? Very small wick below. And that's why I would prefer to see price trade higher into our buy side liquidity objectives, and then eventually maybe revert the range or trade lower once we reach buy side. But this is a signature of bullish price action when price fails to make a meaningful run below midnight after forming an SMT the previous day low, because we're expanding aggressively. Mango, please sit down, bud. It's like having a child, having a dog. Yeah, so we'll have to see, right? We'll have to see if we hold that manipulation level, like that midnight open level. I can put that on all my charts here so you can see. It's on my other monitor, but I'll put it on this chart as well so everyone can see. We might form an SMT there if the first news candle trades lower. I can see the YM trading lower here because of the relative weakness. But yeah, we'll have to see. Generally speaking, we can wait for the first news folder on days with 2 news folders unless we see a clear, sign to get long or get short. Unless we see a clear sign of order flow, it's generally advisable to wait for that first news folder to see if the first one wants to offer manipulation in the market. Place, bud. Place. My dog is giving me problems this morning. I think he's tired. It's really early. What's up, boys? What's up, Denny? What's up, Amir? How's it going? Yeah, dude. That was a nice Twitter post we got. It's very true. If we can expand through the 50% of that, or like, to say you have a market maker model, take an implied dealing range, right? From the low to the high of that implied dealing range. Right? You can grade that. If we displace in the first phase of distribution through that 0.5, it's very likely we'll reach into terminus. So here we have some time distortion or reaccumulation, but it's less likely to revert back to the original sell side. It's a really good post. Everyone follow Denny on Twitter. Post some gems. You still talking to Naps? Dude, I don't talk to many people from any other servers I've been in, really. I have a lot of my students who were kind of in that server when I first started trading, but other than that, no, sir. Got my own community now. But nothing but love for where we started. Okay, I'm gonna sit this first folder out, mostly because I'm not getting the condition I need to see in price to expect expansion. Right, I don't like this rejection block forming inside of this 50-minute imbalance. I would much prefer to see some greater strength. And what I can do is I can wait for the stage 1 or stage 2, right? So this is an hourly to M5 transition of a market maker model. I can wait for S1 in here, or I can wait for S2 in here. I don't need to catch the LRE. So remember, there's always going to be some reaccumulation. Call that S1. Call this S2, right? S1, S2. And this is going to be your low risk entry, right? The first inefficiency off it. When in doubt, just wait for the reaccumulation. There's never a rush. Never a rush in the market to get involved. Especially when you have 2 news folders, right? See what price does. I have way too much shit on my chart, though, let's be real. My chart looks a bit messy today. This one's a lot cleaner. What I wouldn't mind seeing is if that first folder wants to trade lower, maybe into discount of this range. We'll see. If it expands higher, we'll try and catch some redistribution. Maybe for the second folder, but take a look. We have liquidity resting at EQ of the range, right? So just premium discount. We can say like, okay, here's the last impulsive leg, right, from that SMT at the previous day low. See if you want to offer any sort of discount. It doesn't have to at all, but it is nice to see EQ resting, you know, liquidity resting at EQ of the range. But like I said, we've also offered these imbalances. Like we've offered this imbalance, broke structure again, offered this imbalance, right? Have displacement candle higher, so it doesn't need to at all. I wanted to see if ES would trade into the sell side yesterday. It didn't. We left all these consecutive failure swings. ES looks a lot more bearish. They left this pending liquidity in the market, right? These are all pending orders. You have sell stops, so this is a magnet for price. Like right down here is definitely a magnet for price to come into. Yo, can you guys hear the music? Is there music in the stream? I tried setting up like some like low grade background music. I don't know if it worked. Let me know. I still have to figure out how to do like the streams. My fan is kind of loud, I get that. No? Okay. There's not? Okay, yeah. I have to figure it out next time. My fan is the only thing you can hear. Sorry about that. Alright, we're forming another SMT, potentially at these lows. Yeah, you want me to use like an intraday standard deviation projection, something like this? Yeah. These are going to map to my same liquidity targets, right? Yeah, I think there's a small delay on the stream. Yeah, I don't know how to turn that off. Is it in my streaming settings? I tried last time. I think I'm going to have to set that up with no delay next time. Because there is a small delay, you're right. I can see that on the overlay. Interesting. Yeah, I'll figure out how to do no delay next time. That's a good point, Abdul. It's a really good point. Alright, we have another SMT that just formed inside of this inefficiency. Let's see if we come in, sweep, form some structure. Right now we're still holding this low risk entry. Right in here. So the 5-minute imbalance that was created out of this fair value gap. We're still holding that, right? But I think I want to see if the first folder can manipulate lower. Maybe trade back into the range, and then we'll get some second folder distribution action. I generally like to wait for the first folder anyways. My students know that, just because it offers us a more clear alignment of what's happening once we get the first volatility driver in the market to kind of drop. Yeah, I need to figure out how to turn off delay. Abdul, you're gonna have to help me, yo. Is there a way to turn off stream delay? You finally finished CC. Is core content? Yeah. Core content takes a while to get through. Yeah, it took me like a couple months, solid couple months to get through core. I would tell if I knew. Yeah. I wish I knew. Like, I don't do a lot of streaming on YouTube. I gotta figure it out though. I just thought that was like normal. I thought everyone had stream delay, but I don't think it is. I think there's a way to turn it off. I'll figure it out. For the next stream, I'll definitely figure it out. For now, you guys will have to suffer with the delay. Sorry about that. That's why I usually stream on Discord, because at least it's easier. I'm terrible at this tech, man. Think I'd be better, but I'm trash at like streaming. But I gotta figure it out, because it's nice to do the YouTube streams every once in a while too. No, I've never been in anyone's mentorship, dude. I just studied ICT, and took me a long time. I spent a lot of time studying the wrong things, to be fair. Like, studying through ICT without a mentor is difficult because there's a lot of content, and not all of it is as pertinent as you would think. Yeah. If I do it again, I'd probably get a mentor, though. But I wasn't in Zeus's mentorship. Nope. Alright, we have our folder in a couple minutes here, 2 minutes. Let's see what happens. I really want to turn off the stream delay. Let me see. I'm trying to figure out how to turn off stream delay. Sorry. I'm like intently looking at this. Oh, it's so complicated. I think I would have to restart the stream. Okay. So, let's just watch this folder deliver. We formed that SMT. We still have these SMT lows with the YM down here in the gap, but respecting this 15-minute imbalance still, it's quite bearish for me. Right, that's why I'm holding on to that imbalance as my condition. Now we form another sweep inside of here. Gonna see if we want to reach down into this equilibrium liquidity. We'll see. I'm also trying to figure out how to turn off the latency of my stream. I'm gonna have to. Do I have to like restart the stream? Let's see. Okay, we have SMT at these lows. Here, let me just keep talking for now, so I don't lose track of everything. We have SMTs at the lows currently, which is equal to C. Let's see if we hold this imbalance, right? This looks good now because we formed that SMT. At those lows, right? So now we can see if this imbalance holds and we trade, you know. We can shift delivery state potentially, then I can look to get long because we have this nice SMT that formed right here. Inside the imbalance, right? We don't need to trade lower if the imbalance is going to support price higher on the hourly. That was a nice manipulation wick right there. Fireworks truly did begin. I'm trying to figure out the latency. So hard to do that and stream. They all have 10-second delay live? Yeah. I'm trying to figure out a way to not have delay. On Discord, I don't have a delay, right? So it's like super easy. But I can understand that might be annoying. Totally could be annoying if you're trying to like watch it live and there's like a delay. Oh, I can. How do I change my latency of the stream? It's not. Guys, I left my dog for like a minute, went to my bathroom and ripped up all of my toilet paper. That is so classic. Okay, I'm gonna figure out probably for next time how to do no delay on the streams. I don't know how the hell to do that right now. Yeah, this one, I will figure out stream delay for next stream. This one you're gonna have to work through kind of my hindsight logic. And for you, it's gonna be in hindsight, 30 seconds delayed. But you guys know what I'm looking for, right? If you guys have seen me trade before, I do pretty much the same things, so it's all good. Okay, so we now have this change in state of delivery, right? Yeah, Rob got long off that turtle soup. That's nice. I'm gonna see if we retest this order block and we close through it. In which case, I will also try and get long. If we also close through this one, I'll look for a retest of that. And then someone remind me to figure out the stream stuff for next stream. Okay, I'm gonna stab a long off this order block, and let's see what happens. Something like this. Probably gonna risk the low here, and then target all my highs. It's a nice 2R trade to that first TP. Cool, yeah, I like that. I like that setup. We'll see how it prints. Whoa, sorry. Let's see if we can just make this, yeah, there we go. Cleaner on that chart. Yeah, we'll equal highs here at 2028. Nice first TP for me. And then we obviously have, you know, the rest of the TPs that we talked about like 30 minutes ago. I like this. I like this setup. Looks nice. So yeah, I'll take a partial at, this is like a roughly 2R trade, 40 points for me. It's not bad. I like it being confirmed by the order block, so I don't like turtle soup to low when I don't need to, right? I don't need the best fill. I just need a high probability fill for me. Oh, nice. We're already up like, you know, how many ticks? Let me see. Like 50 ticks almost? Not bad. We'll see. Anything can happen. Now we're in the trade. We're just going to let it play out. We still have another folder at 10 a.m. as well, so. If ES reaches up into this PM session high yesterday, I'd like it reaching up into these London highs too. And I like NASDAQ reaching up into these highs first. If we're going to form divergence at any buy side before reaccumulation, I like the idea or the thesis of NASDAQ reaching into buy side here first. Maybe that's, I'm going to make this a bit darker so you guys can see it. I'll make it like blue. There you go. Whoops. Make this one blue. There we go. That seems pretty clear. Is it like insufferable with this stream delay? I actually have no idea. I don't think it's that bad. How bad is it? Like 15, 20 seconds? 30 seconds? I'm gonna go on YouTube and see how bad this looks in terms of delay. I don't think it's terrible. My stop loss is gonna be below this rejection block. So essentially the SMT low should be protected, and I'm just dragging it up a little bit higher to get my 2R. That's it. we don't use stop losses, we raw dog it. Yes. That's the mentorship student classic. That's my pride and joy right there, Yusuf. No stop loss, raw dog it. That's exactly what I taught him. Nah, yeah, I'll use this rejection block. Reality, it should be below this SMT low. I'm just trying to make sure I have a risk adjusted 2R. If it trades aggressively into my stop, for example, then I might look to get back in on the second folder if it's still the same thesis, but yeah, just adjusting risk. The number for my stop loss is like 61-ish, 61.5-ish. If you want to have a really safe stop loss, put it below the SMT low. It gives you like a 1.5R trade to your first TP. You can actually hold a bit more just on the buy side if you want to have the correct stop loss. You can like hold to these highs, which I want to get the majority of my position. I'm gonna keep the majority of my position into this high, to be honest. I'll only take like small partials at these inducement levels you see, which are just relative equal highs, like that were created on the higher time frame, right? So like on the hourly chart, we created some relative equal highs here, relative equal highs here. I know some of my students are just gonna have like a fixed partial system. Like they'll be like, okay, I'm up 50 ticks, I'm gonna take my partial. Like right now, I'm up like 70 ticks. Some people will be like, I'm gonna take my partial. I just hold to liquidity targets usually. Yeah, I'm longing the Nasdaq as opposed to the S&P, like the ES. Despite that lower low, since I have my low resistance liquidity targets. So I have my failure swings, my LR signature on Nasdaq. It's all based on my higher time frame, right? So really, like this is what my chart actually looks like in my mind. I just have all these levels in my chart for intraday trading. So I'm looking to reach up into these buy side like failure swings. This all becomes low resistance liquidity in here, low resistance liquidity. So yeah, that's why I'm longing it despite it making a lower low inside the gap. Some people like to long the asset that makes the higher low, which is fair as well, right? I just usually trade Nasdaq as well, to be honest. And for me, I have like clear double top target here, and then another really, really nice failure swing target here. But we'll see. Anything can happen in the market, right? So yeah, at the first TP right here, I'll take off 1/3. Let me find out what that exact value is. 2028. Nice. Let me go and set my limits in my broker. Sorry, you have to see me zoomed into my camera. My bad. I need glasses for sure. Okay, so that's one target. I'll take another contract off at this 2072.75 if it comes up there. With eval, it's hard to. I mean, you have to. Yeah, you gotta size. You gotta size for like your max loss, right? So. Like my students will always hear me say, like, you got to size for it to come all the way up and then all the way down. It's a part of the game. Like I always size for my max loss, so I'm not usually too concerned about like the trail or anything. But I understand it can be difficult for sure. I size small, man. I use more capital leverage through accounts than I do for leverage on an individual account. Like 3 to 5 micros across all my accounts, and then yeah, just let that capital do the heavy lifting. Let's take a look. Let's see if we come back into this 5-minute imbalance. It's also going to be this order block again, right? Essentially, is our entry. Let's see if we come back into it. I'm okay with that being a breakaway gap though, just based on the dynamics of this leg. Right? We have the breaker here, we have this order block, We have this retracement of this third candle. Then we have an engulfing through that wick. So I'm okay with this being a lower time frame. Implied fair value gap, which is the exact same thing as a lower time frame FVG, right? Don't get it twisted. Just a fair value gap in here. It's a breaker FVG. And there's a lot of complicated terms, but just looking at this overlapping wick essentially creates this order block, right? We come back in and rebalance. So it's okay to just stay inside of this box. The balanced price range between this wick and this body. But if it trades lower, it's more than allowed to do that as well. All right, once I get into my trade, I just set and forget. Just allow it to do what it's gonna do. We're trading based on the expected value of several trades, hundreds of trades, not one trade. Every individual trade can be a loss in our mind. It should be a loss. Like we should go in, right, sizing to lose, not expecting to lose, but sizing to lose, accepting the risk, and then living with the outcome. That's how it works. How crucial is the Dixie on a day like this? Good question. I mean, the Dixie hasn't been like the greatest immediate correlation with the NASDAQ. If you look at a higher time frame Dixie chart, bullish on a higher time frame Dixie chart, right? Chasing out this original consolidation. Higher time frame NASDAQ chart is also bullish, right? If I zoom out to a daily chart, higher time frame. Besides this retracement in here, right? Higher time frame is bullish, going up. Higher time frame on Dixie, right? The past couple weeks at least, bullish. So there hasn't been the immediate correlation. Now there's been a nice correlation between some of these retracements, right, like this, and then some of these retracements like that, or expansions, but yeah, it's not the most important thing right now. The more I've been studying Dixie recently, the less I've been using it. But I would like to see if Dixie wants to draw back into this devil's mark. We have a premium 4-hour fair value gap right below here as well. It's a this is a discounted 4-hour fair value gap. I'm interested to see if price wants to draw into there. So we're pretty much back at our entry of this order block. So I should be coming into that 5-minute gap potentially. We'll see. I still think it can be a breakaway gap, this 5-minute gap, but if it wants to reach in there, it might reach in there. Alan, what's up? How's it going, bro? It's been too long, man. Alan was one of my students. The homie. What's up, bro? Damn, 115 of y'all. And the stream delay. Sorry about that. Yeah, we're gonna get that fixed for the next stream. I know it can be kind of annoying. Let me read some of these comments. Okay, Adrianomics says the delay is not bad. Cool. Swoosh says ICT rambles too much, hard to sit through. Yeah, I mean that's why I teach. To sit through those fucking ICT rambles was a mission. What number is my stop loss? Okay, I'm just gonna, yeah, I'll just keep my stop loss really defined. We'll put it below the swing low, the SMT low. If you look at the weekly chart, we are still inside the first candle, which mitigated the FVG. Mostly, it's not the first candle, which just did the FVG. Yeah. The weekly, I don't think the weekly candle is gonna reach into the previous week high. I think that just trading from this weekly retracement back into the daily internal is the weekly objective. Open low, right? High close of the weekly candle, and the previous weekly candle formed an open high low close. I want to close in back into discount, right? Of this previous weekly candle. This probably looks like no sense. So if this is the previous week, right, this is 1 week, here is our dealing range, for example. Closing back above, right, discount of this wick, or even just into this wick, right, the entire weekly range, taking out that daily buy side is my weekly objective. So this week's candle closes inside of that range. So I agree with you. I don't think we're gonna reach an external range liquidity on the weekly. That I wouldn't be expecting that. But the daily draw seems nice because it lines up with kind of that equilibrium in this previous range. Hopefully that made sense. Grab a flash. There we go. Cool. All right, we also want to see if like these wicks are gonna offer resistance. I don't want to see that. I want to see us like trade through this, at least into this liquidity with speed. Right? I think we're fine. We're just waiting for. We have another news driver. We're just reaccumulating in the market. Right? This is S1. So SMR, right? S1. Get something that looks like this. Maybe get another SMT. S2. On equities open, maybe news folder takes us into the draw, right? S2, S1. We got time. We got time distortion that we have to deal with in this window, right? From here till equities open, then from equities open till the 10 a.m. news folder, and then we get the distribution potentially. NWOG showing resistance, the new week opening gap. Let me drag that out. I don't really use new week opening gaps. They're like volume imbalances, so let me see. Up in here, yeah. So this would be your NWOG low right in here. That new week opening gap. Yeah, interesting. I don't really use it as part of my analysis. If it doesn't serve my analysis, I generally just don't use it. If it complicates something I'm doing, I try not to use it too much. I already have enough shit on my chart as it is. This is a really disgusting looking chart. I apologize. Again, this is the chart we're going off of. This is what we're actually seeing, right? Which still has a lot of shit on it, to be fair. But it's less than here. Here's a lot of stuff going on. Also, I'm going to stop putting my head directly into the camera so you guys don't have to zoom into my like nose. Sorry about that. Just, I'm blind as a bat, just like literally right in the camera. Alright, let me know if you guys like this stream by like liking it or like just letting me know in the comments. It's the only way I know if like you guys want to see more of these streams. I get some good feedback when I do them usually. I like being able to interact with more of you. I do this every day in my Discord, but it's nice to have, you know, more people. And it's nice to have the recording on YouTube. We're up about 20 points, right? 60 ticks. We need a dog cam. My dog makes frequent appearances in the streams. Honestly, probably too many. He steals the show, dude. In Discord, like when Mango comes on stream, it turns into the Mango show. His name's Mango. He's a year and 1 month old golden retriever. Very cute. Alright, so we're about 60 ticks here. No, 17, 18 points, 20 points, whatever. I'm not gonna like change any of my parameters for like stop loss TP, but some of my students just take partials at like 60 ticks, 70 ticks. Awesome, you guys like the streams. That's cool. Yeah, my goal is just to keep it real with you. Show you my losses, show you my how I trade, how I think. And not a lot of people do that. It's not all about like making money and posting profits. Like I try not to do that. It's better you guys like see how I execute, see me lose, which is what I think is the most valuable piece of learning, honestly. Like the days where I take losing trades, you'll see how we treat them the same as the day we take winning trades. That's what profitability means. Profitability means you take good losses, right? Not that you're a great winner. It's easy to win, trust me. You guys can all win with no problem. I have no like concern saying that everyone in this chat can easily take winning trades. It's how you take your losing trades, right? I posted a thread about this actually on Twitter. It was about the process of thinking by which you think about, instead of having like your haves, your do's, and your be's, you think about like the things you do, the person you want to be, and then by nature of that, what comes, right? Like what you get, like what you have. And if you invert that way of thinking, that was like really critical in my development as a trader, was starting with action as opposed to starting with an outcome in my mind. Be the type of person who gets those outcomes, right? You want to be a profitable trader, act like one. You want to be a profitable trader, do the things profitable traders do, right? What's my sleep schedule? It's good these days, better. I used to trade London. I used to trade like on the Eastern time, like I was on the East Coast, so I'd only sleep like 2-3 hours. But these days, I definitely prioritize my sleep. I try and get to bed, so I get like 6 to 7 hours at least, because it's super important, dude. It's hard to perform, I think, when you're sleep deprived. Also, I teach a lot with my students during the day, like after, so I have to be kind of sharp, or else I'm just completely too tired to do it. Hey man, I'm kind of struggling with a few concepts, and I was looking to join the Cord. What's the difference between the tiers on there? So I have like my mentorship group, but you'd have to add yourself to that wait list, and I don't think I'm taking any more students in July, just because I like to keep my numbers like fixed, so that I give all my mentorship students like an hour each per week of one-on-ones, and then we also do lessons and streams, stuff like that. So it's pretty time intensive on my part. And then the regular Discord, like the premium Discord, it's like a baby version of the mentorship. I created it because I couldn't take everyone into my personal group. Obviously, I don't have hundreds of hours to do in the week. I only have, a certain number of hours. And yeah, the premium Discord is kind of like live streams every day. You get 1 to 2 lessons a month that I do with my students. I post the recordings. We do market recaps. We got a good community in there. A lot of the guys in the stream are actually from there. Like I'm just scrolling through, like, yeah, a third of the people commenting are in that premium Discord. So there's a lot of great traders in there. Guys like Rob and Christina. I don't know if they're on the stream, but I saw Rob comment. But yeah, if you have any questions, you can also just like go on the free Discord and DM me. I won't add you as a friend, but you can feel free to just DM me in the free chat or whatever, and ask some of my students maybe if you're interested in mentorship, what that looks like, if you want to join that wait list, or talk to some premium members, see what that's like. But yeah, the biggest draw of premium is that there's a lot of lectures in there. So I have like 50 hours of my personal lectures in there, which is like essentially my entire trading model, and more. Like everything I use for trading, I've taught, and I put it all there in premium so you guys can learn. Yeah. I think that's where the value comes from. Obviously, there's the live streams and stuff, which are nice because you can see me kind of execute on some of the concepts. But like, yeah, I think the education in the server is like top notch. That's what I always wanted to do, is have like the top notch education, and then the live streams and everything are just great because it helps build community. How many mentor students do you take? I try and limit my numbers so I do 1 hour with each student a week, right? So I like to not usually take more than like 20 at a time, because 20 hours is like, a lot of time just studying with or working with with people individually. So yeah, I have a bit of a wait list, but every month I try and let in a few more, right? Yeah. Some of my students also like graduate, they roll over, they're profitable, Do you expect a retracement? So let's look at I was talking about S1, S2, right? So this is the first accumulation. Now I'd want to see some distribution into our first level of buy-side liquidity, then potentially a reaccumulation, and then a redistribution. That's what I would frame. Yeah, good question. Yeah, Dari trades, just join the premium Discord as a start. That's what I would say to answer that question, is like, most of my students from mentorship these days come from the premium Discord. Like they work inside the premium Discord for a while. They like it. They like working with me. They like the lectures. They like the live streams, and then they join the mentorship if they like really want to commit to that next level of learning. Check the 4-hour wick, says Denny. This wick right in here. You want me to measure the deviations of this wick or this wick from the SMR? Do you rely on macros when you take a trade? Yeah, macros are good when there's no volatility drivers in the market. So when we're lacking volatility drivers in the market, between certain windows of time, for example, 9:50 to 10:10, if there's no news, right? That macro, 9:50 to 10:10, will offer some sort of internal retracement or expansion, or it'll offer some sort of liquidity sweep and retracement, right? To the left, equal highs, CE of this wick. Oh, here. Yeah. This is what we had marked out, right? So we want to see if that offers resistance or we can trade through it. Good eye, Denny. Good eye. Levels. It's like those Twitter guys are always like, levels. Look at my level. Look at the algorithmic precision. Literally, I do the same thing. I can't even talk. Right? It's like you grab like the price scale. Levels. Yeah, so let's just keep watching this. We're up a good like 20 points, like 70-ish ticks. Let's see if we get some distribution into the no worries, bro. It's a good level to have on your chart. Let's see if we get some distribution into the next set of volatility injections in the market. Equities open, the next folder, right? Looks good. Also, last thing I'll say, shameless plug. Like then we'll start talking about it. But if you want to join the Discord or ask any questions, I have the link like the WAP linked or pinned in the chat. Feel free just to join the free part as well. And then just ask questions if you want, right? Like everyone in there is like super nice. They'll respond to your questions you have about premium or whatever. Also, I do the occasional live stream in there. I don't know if the free is actually on right now because my moderator had to like do the job of like getting rid of all of the phishers and scammers. You get a whole bunch of like bots when you have a free Discord. I don't know if anyone knows that. You get like a shit ton of bots. So yeah, I might have had to take away that free thing because our chat was getting spammed with like crypto phishing scams and like porn. It was ridiculous. Morning, picture this. How's it going? Can I please go over my plan quickly? Yeah, so we're currently involved in this distribution leg of this market maker buy model, and we're framing a move. Let me get rid of this wick CE quickly. We're framing a move into this external range liquidity. So our time frame alignment involves the weekly inefficiency that we had here with SMT into a 4-hour draw on liquidity or market maker buy model with relative equal highs, right? Inducement of relative equal highs, and also this daily key level, a sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency. So this is the market maker buy model we're currently trading. We enter in on the low risk entry today that's offered inside of this fair value gap in here, which offers another SMT divergence. So that's right in here. You can see that on my charts. So this is where we take our entry, and I actually got involved in this order block once we shifted delivery states higher. Yeah, Rob, I'm still in the longs. Like this is my position, by the way. Sorry. This here is my position that I'm taking for this distribution trade. So I got involved at this order block on the 5-minute chart. So there was a change in the state of delivery above these candles. And then when we retested this order block, I got involved. This is a SIST. You can call it an order block, a SIST, whatever you want. We're sitting at around 70 ticks of profit. I'm not going to take my partials early unless I see an SMT form with the S&P. So I got my I got my profit targets here. If I see any major smart money divergence at the highs, right? I'm not looking at YM as much because I'm anticipating YM to be the weakest. It is the weakest. You can see that. It's clearly been the weakest. I'm looking really for the ES and the NASDAQ. So yeah, just looking for my first TP will be here, guys, at around 40 points for me, 44 points. And then obviously I have my major targets up here. I'm only going to be taking off a small amount of my position at this first TP. You got a really nice fill, Rob. You got that turtle soup low. I want to see a bit more confirmation just because trading plan, right? Any prereqs you recommend before hopping in? I would say in the server, the education, so there's going to be an education, premium education with all the lessons. I have them listed in the order you want to do them, Dari. So follow that order. If you do want to learn in premium and you want to start looking at those lessons, watch them in the order that I recommend because I've sorted them. And that's the order in which I taught it to my students as well. It's logical, right? It starts with market maker fundamentals, moves into market cycles, market structure, protraction, profiling, right? But it does it in like sequential order. So I would recommend that. And then also like, you know, if anything is unclear, just ask me or ask someone else and we'll help you there. Yeah. Any other questions? This is good. I like being able to answer these live. It cuts down on my DMs. I get a lot of DMs with questions, so ask me them here. Do we expect a retracement at 930? Yeah, it's definitely possible. Right now we're in the trade, right? But anything can happen in between TP and SL. Do I put my trade to BE? No, I don't. I hold for my invalidation or my stop loss yet. Anything can happen in between, right? My TP and my SL. These are called stages of reaccumulation or redistribution in market maker models. So I'm perfectly okay with the market trading lower, retracing, performing a stop hunt on internal ranges of liquidity. Right? Just allow the market to have a natural distribution higher with reaccumulation. So here, if we frame a market maker model, you can see maybe just this here. I'm allowing for this leg higher to contain several phases of reaccumulation and redistribution, right? With SMT inside of fair value gaps, right? So this would be like your reaccumulation areas. So yeah, I let my trades breathe. How to be confident Asian low not taken out? The draw on liquidity. So the draw on liquidity for me is higher. I'm framing a classic buy day, which is a type of profile, an intraday profile that you can learn about. Some of my YouTube videos go over it. I have a full lecture on kind of protraction profiles on YouTube. And then also we're looking at this previous day low SMT and our clear buy side liquidity objectives, right? So again, this is a better chart for you to keep your eye on. It's a little bit cleaner. These are our buy side liquidity objectives. Got in at the 5-minute order block. Wanted to more discount entry. Yeah, you gotta chill. Let your trade breathe, right? Stop loss, TP. Just let go, right? Every trade is random. Every single individual trade is completely random. But what's not random is the expected value or the outcome of your trading model or edge over several trades. Like not even 5, 10, but think like hundreds of trades, right? You're gonna get that positive expectancy or that alpha, that generated return, but you gotta let your trade do its thing. When the individual trade, let it do its thing. I gotta turn my heater back on. I'm freezing. It's cold in here. I might have to hop in premium just to chat with the boys. Yes, sir, Denny. Get in there, bro. Get in there just so you can start posting your beautiful power of 3 charts. Rob might have some competition. I don't know if Rob. Yeah, Rob's still in here. Rob always posts like a daily power of 3. I look at it and I'm like, this guy is like, it's art. There's a lot of chartists in our server. A really nice chart depiction at the end of the day. So do you, Danny. I always see yours on Twitter. Let's see Mango. All right, market maker Mango. I'll bring him up. We're approaching an hourly order block from that price. I don't expect bearish arrays to hold if I'm in the distributional phase of a daily candle that has higher draws in liquidity. So sorry, I read a chat. If I'm expecting higher prices, I'm expecting maybe the order block on the hourly that you're mentioning, right? This order block in here to offer reaccumulation, but I do want to see the market deliver and offer buy side liquidity today. So because I want to see the market offer buy side liquidity, I'm okay with holding through those premium bearish arrays. Denny said 1v1 me Rob PO3. We got a 1v1 off. Yeah, they both. You can, if you guys see on my Twitter, I always post like Rob and Christina, their weekly and daily power of 3, like the weekly profiles, for example. And then Denny also does it on Twitter. So we'll have, if Denny gets in premium, we're gonna have like a PO3 off. What time frame alignment do I normally trade? I like trading hourly and 4-hour structure, the daily candle direction using things like my daily bias tools, protraction profiles, and weekly profiling. And I like to enter between the 5 and 15 minute charts. Yeah, 5, 10, 15 minute charts. I'm more flexible with my time frame alignments, but if you want some more solid, 3 time frames, check out my MMXM fundamentals video, and I talk about some personality types and what time frames you can use. All right, let me grab Market Maker Mango. Mango, come here, bud. Mango, come here. Come here. He just woke up. He's so tired. Mango, come, bud. He's lying on the floor. He's so tired. Oh, come here, bud. Come. All right, let me see if I can move my camera down. This is Mango. Hello, buddy. He's a cute dog. Super cute dog. Can you sit for me? Cool. Camera. You tired? Oh, you must be so tired. Mango, you have a fan. You have literally a fan base. Look at all these people. They're here just for you. Alright. I'll let you sleep. Sorry. That's Mango. I haven't heard your opinion on CRT. Yeah, CRT is market maker models. I won't say more than that. I don't like the negativity and toxicity of there is one way to do things, and if you're not doing it a certain way, you're doing it wrong. I think that there's many ways to skin a cat, and CRT is another form of trading high probability expansions, as is market maker models. It's a very similar thesis. In fact, it's an identical thesis. You're trading the next day model, which is something I've taught before to my students, and it's taught by the MMXM trader, is a lower time frame or a higher time frame CRT, right? So when you have a 3 candle swing that looks like this, right? You put in a swing low, for example, down here, and then right here. This in here is the CRT low, and this is the CRT high, right? This in here is just a lower time frame internal to external retracement, right, or expansion, and a market maker model. And this can be fractal on any time frame, whether you want to do a 4-hour chart, right? So you're looking at a 4-hour candle like this, or you want to do a daily chart. So you're looking at a daily swing point that looks something like this, right? Let's go down to a really obvious one, like this, right? Wick through, close above, target the CRT high. So it's just forms of market maker models. But yeah, I don't like the drama of I don't know, there's only one way to do things, everything else is a sham. No, if someone tells you that, they're probably trying to sell you something. Oh, they're definitely trying to sell you something. They're selling you whatever they're telling you is the only way to do it. That's not how trading works. Please, bud. Yeah, Mango's cute, eh? No 1 minute. No, I sometimes refine my key levels on the lower time frame charts, like the 1 minute charts. But I tend to stay away from the 1 minute chart just because there's a lot more variance in the 1 minute charts, and it induces a lot more noise, I think. So I want to see if this order block now can hold. Too cute, that Mango, yeah. How many contracts am I usually trading? I usually trade between 3 and 5 micros across all my accounts. So I use copy trading. I keep my leverage per account quite small, and I try and scale into more capital. It's just my personal approach. It allows me to hold for higher time frame targets, and worry less about kind of the account drawdown because I'm not risking too much equity on that specific account. So I'm hoping we don't get another chop fest today where we fail to take out our liquidity targets. I'd like to see an expansion day today. So we have no notable SMTs at the highs. We traded into this rejection block. Would you qualify an H1 M15 SMT valid for ES? Yeah, like H1 into M15 is a very common time frame alignment actually. How much dollar risk is that? I usually risk about $300 to $500 per account per day. I don't like to lose more than like $500 per account per day. Yeah. Usually less. Usually about 300, dude. That's probably my more normal max loss. So I think my position sizing tool here sizes for $300 loss. Yeah, 300. I look like Johnny from The Outsiders. I haven't seen that show. Johnny better be a handsome dude, William. You have to send me a picture. I'm gonna look it up. Johnny from The Outsiders. Let's see. Johnny Outsiders. Oh, I kind of do look like Johnny from The Outsiders. Oh wait, The Outsiders is a movie. What am I talking about? Ugh, sorry. I don't know. He's pretty handsome, dude. I don't know if 5 a.m. is my best look, but I can see it. What firm? I use Apex. What do you use for copy trading the same accounts? I use the Apex prop, like, yeah, it's a classic movie. I've seen The Outsiders. I thought you were talking about a show, but, yeah, I thought you were talking about like Outlanders or something. No, I've seen The Outsiders. Fantastic movie. I sound like LeBron there. You guys seen that meme of like LeBron just straight up capping? He's like, oh yeah, that's my favorite book. That's my favorite saying. It's like, oh, Outsiders? That's my favorite movie. Just LeBron capping. It's like, there's like a video you guys have probably seen of like him talking about this book that he's obviously never read. And he's like, that's my favorite quote. That's my favorite quote. Yeah, I haven't read too much of it, but that's my favorite quote. Bro, bring back the drip profile picture on Twitter. Dude, I realized that like showed too much of where I live. Like that was my exact location. If you could find, there's a lot of weird people on Twitter. You know this, Denny. People already know my name, right? They can look up how much money I make if they. That's why I took my name off prop firms, dude. Cause I got some weird people like from like my city in Toronto being like, hey man, I think I know where you live. I think I saw you, and I was like, dude, that is weird. Like, leave me alone. I do not want some random Twitter people knowing where I live or like trying to follow me around in public. That's very weird. They were like looking up my LinkedIn, looking up like where I used to work. It was, yeah, that's why I like removed my face from my profile picture, because I had like my building where I lived. Are you gonna wait for 10 a.m. news? Yeah, I'm in the trade. So I'm gonna let it either hit TP or hit SL. So the first folder, so generally speaking, let's talk about some logic here. Sorry, this is kind of getting a bit more into a casual stream, but let's keep it educational, right? So if the first folder manipulates, generally the second folder distributes. Now, if we manipulate before the first folder, then both tend to distribute. Meaning we're gonna get two phases of distribution. S1, or the smart money reversal, right? The first accumulation of the smart money reversal might happen in that first folder like we got here. And then we'll get something that looks like a reaccumulation. So either S like stage 2 or the first accumulation might happen on 10, where we form something like this. A high resistance liquidity run, stop hunt, right? Liquidity sweep, and then a continuation, right? Very similar to how we deliver between sessions, between the London and the New York session, right? We have a classic buy day. So we have a displacement, right? And then New York comes back in, performs some sort of stop hunt below liquidity, like we got here, and then we get a distribution. So we're using a fractal version of that just for the 2 folders, similar to how we use it on a daily profile, right? Yeah, people are weird as hell. I agree, dude. Yeah. Well, I didn't realize Apex used to publish my name, my city, and then all you would have to do is look up like my name, my city, and like you can get a lot of information about someone, and then you're also showing how much they make in payouts. I was like, that is like super uncomfortable. There's some weird people on the internet, dude. Like very weird people on the internet. Yeah, the DMs I get are like heinous, Denny. Like it's either people like asking for money or like free things. Like, can you give me free mentorship? Can you give me free money? Can you like pass a challenge for me? Or it's like, I know you live here. I'm like, oh my god. Leave me alone, please. Don't know who the hell you are. Yeah, so we can use some standard deviations like this as well for anyone wanting to see the deviation projections. All right, we get that reaccumulation right in here, which is nice. I just don't like to add too much lipstick to the chart, but we're getting that reaccumulation in here, which is very nice to see. Now you want to see some distribution. Notice how the second standard deviation is the true, is like the weekly open. Not the true week open, but the weekly open. Yeah, dude, especially Canadians, D. Howie, especially Canadians. They're weird as hell. I gotta figure out so for the next stream, what I'll do is I'll figure out a way to get some background music playing. So it's like we have something to listen to, like small like reverb elevator music, you know. And then I'll also figure out a way to take off the delay, cause I'll be good. I think there's a way to get rid of the delay. But yeah, I do these in Discord every day, pretty much every day, three to 4 times a week. So I'm already in now. 930 may offer manipulation lower, definitely. I can see 930 potentially retesting, you know, this fair value gap. It could come in, retap the order block. But yeah, I would say like the draw on liquidity for me is clear. So I'll find an entry. I'll challenge you to find an entry that aligns with your risk and order flow, right? So if you go down to a lower time frame, you want to use a 5-minute chart, find an entry, right, in this leg. That's a high probability entry for your risk and also where you wanted partial. So for me, I didn't want to take the lows. For me, that didn't fit my risk in terms of market structure. Now, I know for a fact several of my students turtle soup this low. Like I'll go into my mentorship group later and I'll see people who turtle soup that low. It just doesn't fit my personal model. You're going to have to find an entry in this distribution, whether you wait for a stop hunt, whether you don't have what you need to see here to get involved, and then align yourself with that. But if the draw on liquidity is clear, there will be multiple entries offered. So yeah, 930 could definitely manipulate lower if that's what you're asking. I think there's a good chance that YM comes in and sweeps out the Asian lows. YM is the only index that didn't take out that previous day low either. And YM is the weakest. Yeah, you want to see a stop hunt and shorts induced? Yeah, absolutely. I'm underrated. I appreciate that, bro. Yeah, man. Just trying to drop as much knowledge as I can. I'm not gonna be doing this forever. Like I always tell my students, like I'm not gonna be teaching and as active forever. But while I am, may as well put as much out as possible. Eventually, you know, we trade to live, so we have families and we have less time. But right now, I'm young, got lots of time, so I love doing this shit. Yeah, it's awesome, bro. It's really fulfilling. Like, of course, you make money through like social media. Anyone who tells you you don't, like, they're lying. Like, you make money through like YouTube and you make money through Discord and Twitter. But like, if you don't have a passion for this shit, it really shows, in my opinion. There's some quality educators, and sure, you make good money if you know what you're doing because people are paying you for essentially transferring all your experience. But you can tell if people actually care about teaching or if they're like selling you something. There's a very clear difference in my mind, at least. Maybe that's because I was sold a lot of shit when I was learning. I bought a lot of stupid shit, like useless shit, like Discord, like signal groups and like courses and yeah, all sorts of stuff. How much capital do you have? I'm pretty much max allocated like funding on Apex. I have a couple personal accounts. Yeah. So I spread out my capital. How long have you been trading? I've been trading for around 3 years, using ICT concepts for around 2 years. And I've been fully profitable for just over like 16 months, 18 months. So I'm still pretty fresh into my journey as well in terms of like the years, right? 3 years is still pretty new. But I did the wrong things probably for 2 years. Learned the wrong things for 2 years. The thing is, if Asia is ranging, I expect London to manipulate. Yeah, this is more like a classic buy day in my opinion, right? So Asia's forming that low as opposed to London because we have that high resistance liquidity stop hunt in Asia. And then we have, again, time and price. Like, it's Thursday, we have 2 folders, right? We have a folder here, and we're gonna have a folder at 10. And we only have 1 day to reach the daily objective. Friday, we might expect to either chop, right? Or it could range expand or revert. But looking at time and price, it's like price is in a hurry today. And you can see how efficient price is delivering. Look at how efficient this is. Expansion, retracement, expansion, retracement, expansion, retracement, expansion. We're delivering extremely efficiently in here. And you'll be able to see that when you look at like a 4-hour chart. There's no inefficiencies in this 4-hour chart. We're rebalancing these wicks, right? Every time we expand, we're rebalancing. So it's efficient delivery of price on these higher time frames because it's actually looking to reach into an objective. At least that's how I'm visualizing and my perspective on price right now, right? Actually looking at that previous day wick. Yeah, this previous day wick, it could offer resistance, absolutely. Yeah, there's like, right, this could offer resistance as well. We're also, like we talked about earlier on the 4-hour, we came into the halfway point of these 2 wicks, right? So I am assuming with this trade, I'm not assuming, I'm trading as if there's going to be an expansion, and that's the risk I'm taking, right? Against potentially a trade that reverses, and that's a part of the game. Regardless of what happens, I'm going to keep executing the exact same way every time. So whether I take a win or a loss today, it won't matter. Whether I ever take a win or a loss on a single day doesn't matter. You guys know that. But right now we have this like high resistance liquidity run and stop hunt, so I wouldn't want to see price return. If price returns below here, I'm invalidated, right? I'm okay with price doing anything in this range, but if it comes back below my stop loss, it's an invalidation. I want to get out of the trade. Like the thesis is invalidated for me, right? Any tips for passing a 50K eval on Top Step? Yeah, risk like 5 to 7%. Aim for 2 to 1 R, and stick to the rules, right? If you risk 5 to 7%, you have to lose, risk 5 to 7% of your drawdown. So that means you have to lose like 12, 15 trades in a row to actually blow the account, which is you're not going to do. And then just trade them slowly, group them together if you can. And yeah, once you get to those PAs, those are like a very, very incredible opportunity to get offered capital and extreme amounts of leverage for almost nothing. It's like super cheap leverage, right? So yeah, treat it like a business. You got to be professional about it, right? You don't want to risk too much. Just come in with a game plan, only execute on your edge, and just don't put a timeline on passing evals. That's why they make so much money in the industry, is because they give you a 1-day pass, and what do you try and do? You try and pass in 1 day, and that's like, it's not what trading is. Trading is not like a 1-day pass kind of thing. Trading is never a 1-day affair. Trading is something that takes, essentially it compounds your skill over hundreds of trades, right? Hundreds of events of profitability ratioed in each one of them, right? You have a chance to win that's higher than your chance to lose, multiplied by a chance to win that's higher than your chance to lose. You keep stacking those probabilities, bro, you're going to make money. But you're not going to do it on the timeline you want. You're gonna fight yourself on that timeline. So my best advice is always to think in terms of processes, right? Think like a profitable trader. A profitable trader doesn't risk too much. A profitable trader doesn't revenge trade. A profitable trader doesn't overtrade, right? They just follow their systems. Yo, bro, I'm 14 and I have fun with 50K. I think psychology is not right for live trading. Yeah, so if you want to improve on psychology, I have some lectures on that on my YouTube on like trading psychology. I also recommend reading Mark Douglas and Tom Hogarth, so Trading in the Zone and Best Loser Wins. And then really focusing on your process, right? Like I'm gonna post this link here. I posted this yesterday. It's something I'm doing with my students, which is called a scorecard. And essentially it's the idea of thinking in terms of be, do, have. It's like a thought process. And it's one of the things that really helped me as a trader. So give this a read if you want. Give that a read. It's about a way of thinking about trading that will help you become profitable, because it's gonna focus your systems and tailor your progress towards systems and not outcomes. It's a really powerful kind of way of thinking, I think. You focus on M15 entries, yeah, M15, M5, higher time frame, like higher than, like, I don't love the 1 minute. Sometimes I'll use it to refine a zone, but yeah, higher time frame bias. Like for me, my bias comes from my hourly charts and my daily charts, and then executing on like, yeah, M5 to M15, sometimes 10-minute chart, doesn't really matter. See what looks the cleanest for me. But again, if you want some more strict time frame alignments, go to my MMXM top-down video, and there's a whole bunch of different personalities and time frame alignments there. Love your YouTube videos. Appreciate it, bro. Yeah, I'll keep posting them. I'll keep posting like the occasional lecture on Twitter and all sorts of stuff. All right, we got 9:30 open. Let's see what happens. Trading in the Zone, The Mental Game Trading. Yeah, these are all great books. And you're 14, man. Like, it's everyone tells you this, so I know it's less impactful. Like, of course, when you hear it all the time, you're like, yeah, I get it. I have so much time. I'm so young. You are incredibly young, and you're incredibly driven to be doing this at your age. When I was 14, I was playing League of Legends, and I didn't even know that the world, like, I didn't even know I could do something like this, right? I had no salience or thought process that would ever put me in this domain. So the fact that you're even showing up to like a stream like this, early in the morning when other people are sleeping, right? You're already putting yourself in a winning position, bro. Like, you're 14, I know you're gonna have success. Like, I already know. I say this to some of my students who are a bit younger. Like, my students who are like 17, 18, 19, the work ethic they have to exhibit at that age, right, is phenomenal. Like, I'm truly impressed by some of you guys. Like, and your ability to do this at a young age. It's truly impressive. It's phenomenal, and you're gonna do well. It just will take time. Give it the time it deserves, and even if it takes you a couple years, remember, I didn't start this till I was 22, right? And it took me 3 years. I was 21, right? It took me almost 3 years. You're starting at 14, you got so much time, dude. You're gonna kill it. You're gonna do absolutely fantastic. Okay, so I'm looking to take some partials at this high, everyone. So as we trade into it, I will take off a contract. That's going to be at 2028. Just grind it out. Yeah, so Yusuf is one of my youngest students, actually. So Yusuf's 19 now, but he started with me when he was 18. And yeah, he's someone you can talk to. If you're even in the free Discord, or you're in the Discord, message Yusuf and talk to him about kind of like how he approached that, because he's one of my youngest students and he's had some of the best success, right, of all my students. Okay, so I didn't get filled. I was about one tick away from it, which is a little bit unfortunate. That's the way she goes. So let's see what happens. I want to see if price can reach into this high and get me filled on my partial. Okay, so I'm partialed out of one position. I will be moving my stops now at that partial to break even, so I do not take a loss on the trade. That's just my personal rule. So I'll be collapsing my stops to break even, or slightly below break even underneath some structure. So yeah, really good trade so far. That's about 40 handles, right, which is a nice TP for our first TP. Yeah, just trading the system, right? I'm glad we sat through that one together. So now we're going to keep holding the rest of our contracts into these higher liquidity targets if we can get offered them. But anything can happen now, right? Yeah. So anyone in the Discord, talk to Yusuf. He was one of my oldest and one of my first students, I would say. He's also one of my students who had probably the most transformative kind of results from gambling a lot and really working on psychology to being a very, very consistent process-oriented trader. Very proud of him. And also he can kind of speak to like a lot of processes that you go through, a lot of parts of your journey, right? Not just like mentorship. He can also speak about what it was like because he was trading before mentorship and he was trading before he met me. And he was trading at your age as well, 14, 15. So yeah, definitely hit him up. He's awesome. Follow him on Twitter as well. Where was my entry? My entry was right here, dude. I have it put in the thing. It was this order block right here. That was my entry. Let me drag it. So when we shifted delivery state above that high, I got involved. So on my charts, it is, you can see it's 19,981.75. I got filled at 19,983 on my broker. You enter my free Discord, but you couldn't verify it. Okay, that's weird. Yeah, my free Discord, I don't know if my moderator might have gotten rid of that free component, like the verify part, because we were getting a lot of bots. We were getting a lot of people posting really inappropriate things, like bots and spammers. So I'll have to figure that out. But yeah. I'm gonna be running so yeah, I think we turned Dominion. I think we turned off the free Discord right now because we were getting a lot of bots and scammers. Like people were posting phishing links and like a lot of really inappropriate stuff because it's a free server. So I think we turned that off just for now until we can make sure that doesn't happen. But I have lots of like all my free stuff I'm gonna post on Twitter anyways. So my Discord I think I'll just keep premium and then I'll post all the free stuff like that I would post in general on the Discord on Twitter. Okay, so we're now up around 70 points. Feel free to secure partials as you wish using your own trading plan, right? So you guys know where my targets are. I'm holding my next contract until 2072 right here. A really, really nice distribution, right? We're up over 80 points now. This is exactly what we want to see. If ES comes in and takes this high right here, I will also take a partial. So about 300 ticks. I'm going to read some of these questions. You guys are throwing them at me quick. Yeah, so the free Discord, I don't think we're going to do that because it worked out to be way too many scammers and shit. So if you want to join premium, you can reach me there, but I'll also post lots on Twitter for free and I'll do these as well for free. So I like this more because no one can post like scammy links. Okay, I just got filled again, by the way, guys. So I'm down to just my last contract. I'm in 1/3 remaining for my buy side objective, okay? Fantastic trade, wow. Beautiful trade. Whew. I'm up 400 ticks. Let's not be emotional. Let's reach into this extreme buy side and then I'm going to close it all out. And then we can just watch price. Wow. What an absolute rip. So my last contract will come off at this 4th deviation. I'm going to see if I can get any more juice, and I'm going to be trailing my stop loss. This is really, really nice trade. I hope you guys didn't take the signal, but you guys understood the thought process of this trade, right? This is bread and butter kind of news distribution. So yeah, like I was saying, the free Discord, gonna close that. I think that's been closed down already. You can't access it because there's just way too much scammy shit in there. But we will definitely be doing some free stuff on YouTube, Twitter, I don't believe you have to pay to get education, but if you want to join the Discord, the link's there. But if not, we'll do Twitter stuff, we'll do YouTube stuff. It'll happen, don't worry. But I do these every day on the Discord if you're interested in more stuff like this. When do you add to this position? I only took one entry today, brother. I sized just for one entry. You make Tanya trades look like a joke. No hate to anyone else in the industry. I'm just here to spread as much, value and insight as possible. I think everyone offers everyone who's doing this and trading, live, it takes real balls. Not a lot of people can do this. So yeah, I think anyone who's doing this, I have a lot of respect for. And everyone's showing up to these things. Like, it's really easy to just be lazy. You guys aren't lazy. You guys are showing up. You guys are doing the work. Okay, I'm out of my last contract at 410 ticks. So beautiful day today. Wow, absolutely gorgeous. I'm gonna make sure everything's closed out on my brokers. Just give me 1 second, guys. Everything's closed. Gonna shut down my broker before I just answer some more questions, and I'll hop off. Cool. All right, brokers shut off. Done for the day. Reached my price target. If it keeps going, it keeps going, right? Beautiful trade for me. Plan the trade, plan the trade, trade the plan. Sorry, well, that was hard to say. Let's keep watching price together, but I'm all out, right? So completely out. I made about what was this? 3R? Yeah, almost 4R across 20 PAs. So zero complaints for me. Thanks for the signal. I'll shout you out. No. We don't do signals here. That's not what I wanna. That's not what we're trying to emphasize here. Yeah, beautiful. Let me answer some more questions. 9:30 delivery cleaner than 10. Well, we had the manipulation beforehand, right? So we got to enter before that high probability distribution leg. So yeah, it was quite clean, wasn't it? It was a very one-sided price, and I'm glad we got to see it together. So let's now see if ES wants to reach into this liquidity as well, or we want to leave some SMT divergence up there. All out though personally. When do I add substitution? Yeah, like I was saying, I only took one position today, brother Chase. Love you, Fees. Love you too, Mustafa. That's a dope name. Great job. Thanks, Cass. Do you expect price later today to reverse into the daily FVG? I had only a bullish thesis for today to these levels. I'm now going to observe structure at these levels and determine what price will do next, right? So what I like to do and what I always teach my students is that we don't want to predict price per se. We want to react to when price shows us obvious signatures of delivery. So in this case, there was an obvious signature of buy-side delivery, and that's what we traded. So now we'll study, right? We'll see what happens in today's delivery by the end of the day to make a thesis for the next day. So for example, I'll be using today's daily candle close to make a thesis for the next day. And I probably won't trade tomorrow since I've made now, I think, 10R on the week. I made 3R on Tuesday. I made 1R yesterday, and I made 4R today. So that means I'm pretty much good for the week. I think I also made 1R on Monday. So I won't trade any more on Friday probably, just because I've made a lot of, I've made my weekly expectation today. How much did I make? I just told you, right? I made about 3.5R across 20 PAs. So, or not 20 PAs. Sorry, I didn't trade 20 PAs today. I traded how many PAs? Let me check. I traded 8 PAs. I grouped them. I don't trade them all together. So I made 3.5R across 8 PAs. I won't tell you the dollar amount because it doesn't matter, right? It's just capital scale. You could have made $10 and did a fantastic job, took the exact same trade. You could have made $10,000 taking the same trade. It doesn't matter. The amount of money doesn't matter at all. Done. You have a hard time acting on it. Yeah, so Dark, what you're going to want to do is start collecting data, right, to prove to yourself that you have an edge. And once you prove that you have an edge through collected data, right, obviously, you're going to feel less fear when executing on your trades. And that's why today in the morning, right, once I set my TP and my SL, I'm done, right? My hands come off the keyboard to the extent that I'm going to change my TP SLs. And instead, what I do is I just use it as a data point. And that data point allows me to continue to collect and understand how price delivers. And then seeing it deliver reinforces and gives me confidence in my edge. It really comes down to, like I said, focusing on the process and then journaling and understanding the outcomes and collecting data on it. Yeah, the performance doesn't matter, it's the outcome. Exactly what Luca said. Okay, so I had all these levels drawn out. Yeah, so journal. I would say journal. And again, I have a journaling template in my server as well that I use on Notion, but you can use Notion, you can use Tradezilla, you can use an Excel spreadsheet, whatever. Just collect some data. And what I like to do, as you guys see on my Twitter, is take screenshots of your trades, right? Of the setups, of the time frame alignments. And with time, you're gonna start growing confidence in what you're doing, right? That's all you can ask for, is to gain confidence and conviction in your edge. You are really good in this. My 7-year trade having profitability. Sorry. I appreciate that, Dominion. Yeah, like I truly have a passion for teaching. I hope that shows. And like I said, of course you can make money through teaching and Discord and Twitter and all that. But I hope you can see that I have a passion for this truly that kind of is much more than money. Like, I make my money from trading. You guys hopefully can see that. I hope that through these live streams and through some of my transparency, right, that you can see that I'm doing this stuff and there's real expectancy in what we're doing here and what you're learning. So yeah, I appreciate that a lot. Awesome, guys. Yeah, so we got a really nice trade. I'm wondering if there's any more questions, or else I might just, yeah, I'll stick around for a bit. We'll see the next folder. Let's see what it does. And then after, I'm gonna hop off, take my dog for a walk, and enjoy the rest of my day. I think I have some one-on-ones with my students during the day, so I'll do those. Gonna quickly just check the Discord, see if I have any messages from anyone. Yeah, it was awesome. I'm glad. People in the Discord ate. Nice. Rob's posting beautiful charts in the Discord already. Rob, it's too early for this, man. I don't need your beautiful charts yet. Give it to me at the end of the day. Yeah. Cool. Let's stay here and see what news does, and then after we see the news distribution, we will I'll hop off. Check Twitter later if you can. All right, I will. I'll check as soon as we're done the stream, or I can pull it up. Maybe not check now. I try and turn my Twitter off during the day because it's so distracting, but. Shout out for the signal. Let's go. W signal service. Beautiful. I appreciate it, Denny. Although it's not what we're here for. No signals here. Right? The more important thing is doing this shit live, right? Learning from the process, right? I'm equally as happy if we took a losing trade. If we took a losing trade together, I would have been equally as happy. It doesn't matter what the outcome is. Did you trade Wednesday? And if you did, yeah, I did trade yesterday. I traded long and I got one partial above these high in this fair value gap from the open, and then I got stopped out at break even on the rest of my contracts. Yesterday was a super choppy day, Joshua. How often will I do these open live streams? Yeah, so I was going to do like one live stream on my free Discord every couple of weeks. But I think I'm going to turn off the free Discord because there's so much like shit being posted in there. Like when you have a free Discord and like I have a mod, but it's hard for us to control like all the scammers and fishers and all this shit that happens. So instead what I'll do is I'll just do the free streams on YouTube maybe once maybe once every couple of weeks, right? Once every week, once every 2 weeks. Maybe more frequently if like that's what it grows into. But I do the streams on my Discord like every day, so that'll continue. This is kind of like an introduction to what some of the TA and analysis we do in the Discord looks like, so that you can still enjoy it without having to pay any money, right? Every once in a while. My opinion on Forex, I don't really trade Forex, to be honest. I got profitable trading NASDAQ, and yeah, that's what I trade. I sometimes consider intramarket analysis, like I did today with the dollar, but it's usually on a higher time frame, right? Like for me, it's like I'd like to see dollar reach into the devil's mark. So using intramarket analysis with the indices, I like a bullish price run into this liquidity. But other than that, yeah, I'll look at some other pairs. Like sometimes I'll look at pairs like crude. So for example, I'm looking at crude to lead this consolidation, and I believe that because we are putting in a consolidation on the daily, we might actually create a weekly fair value gap, and then from that weekly fair value gap, we might expand next week, something like this, right? So this is an accumulation of a range on the crude oil contracts, and then we can get a manipulation of the range into the weekly fair value gap that's created, and then I'll look to maybe swing trade into this high next week. I don't like to day trade crude as much, but I like to swing trade it. So right now I'm just seeing an accumulated range, which I'm going to study. Perfect. I also look at things like gold sometimes, right? Just really ugly and choppy right now for the most part. So yeah, my attention is usually on the indices, though, to be fair. I won't lie, 99% of my trades are on NASDAQ. Yeah, I tried being a CL day trader yesterday with my stream, and I got stopped out by like 2 ticks, and then it ripped to my TP, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I'm not gonna trade crude intraday. I'll just swing trade it. He tried being a crude trader and got done dirty. He's absolutely right. Yeah, it instantly. I don't know if anyone was in the stream yesterday. My crude trade, guys, I entered and it immediately reversed against me. Like the minute, like my entry was the market maker's reversal. I got in, 1 tick in, just dumped. I was like, okay, well, that sucks. I got stopped out very quickly. Yeah, so the people who ask how often I'll do these open live streams, maybe once every couple of weeks. Obviously, like I want to make sure that you guys get an opportunity to get involved in these live streams. But I usually do them with just my Discord, and I want to still do the occasional one on YouTube every once in a while, especially on days like this. I think on the days where there's really high probability distributions, I want to be able to share that with you guys. So I want to be able to come on here and everyone can see. Because these are my bread and butter types of trades. Like these are the days where I make, the majority of my money or my returns for the month is days like today. So I usually use more size and I scale in across more accounts, and I really look for these bread and butter distributions. And I love to be able to share that with you guys because that's exactly how I teach. I teach to wait for these kind of setups. So then, getting to do it with you live is just confirmation of what you're learning. Love your content. My question is, if you had to draw standard deviations in the previous week, this week, how would you draw it? Yeah, so my standard deviations for this week were actually based on this Thursday, change in state of delivery. So we had this run on equal highs on NASDAQ last week. So we engineered liquidity, we ran equal highs, and then we shifted delivery state bearish. So this is a 4-hour change in state of delivery right here. So once we had that 4-hour change in state of delivery, this last manipulation leg is seen as the institutional manipulation of price, and that's why I was framing a reversal for this week from this 3.5 to 4 area and this SMT. Now for the expansion of this week, I didn't need to have such specific, liquidity objectives or in terms of standard deviations, because I knew we had my extreme buy side here and we had all of these failure swings in the market that I was targeting, all of these failure swings. But for the week, right, I would use probably some standard deviations that look like this, because again, we formed an SMT, right? at these lows, and then we expanded changing delivery state. And you can see price today reached into these overlapping deviations, right? Actually, I'll keep this one, and I'll get rid of this one so our chart's a bit cleaner. Good question. So now we can see price hit RTP, and this is why I get out of my full position. I never, unlike some traders like Tom Hogard, I don't actually hold positions past my TP. I don't allow my runners to keep going. I define my risk, set my limits, and then I get out of my full position. And on a day like today, it's helpful because we get a strong rejection from my key level. And on some days, it'll keep going higher, and that's also okay. As long as I plan the trade and trade the plan, I'm happy. Great trade, thank you. My pleasure, man. Thanks for coming to the stream. Give it a like if you enjoyed it. Yeah, if everyone's enjoying the stream, give it a like. It really does help me with feedback to know if you guys are enjoying the streams, and also it shows people to stream more, so it helps us grow the community that we have on these streams. People come in, they ask questions, we get more conversation. It's all good stuff. What is your accuracy rate? Yeah, I have around 700 journaled trades over the past year and a half, 2 years. Some where I was over trading, obviously. And I have around a 72 to 73% win rate. Now, some months it's much higher. Like some months I'll have like a 20-day win streak. Other months it'll be lower, but it averages out to between, I think, 70 to 73%. I can check my Notion right now. Let me check. So yeah, for example, last month, which was one of my poor performing months, I only had a 57% win rate. But in total, I have between 70 and 73. So it depends. Every month varies, which gives me more confidence in my edge over a series of trades. Right? I build conviction over lots of individual trades, and they come together and they stack out. I type Notion on my trading view. It's so funny. I like the shout out for the signal, Denny. That's so funny. Yeah, no one else doing it live like us. Actually, I have no idea. I'm sure lots of people took this trade. I'm just saying that. I'm sure many people took this trade. But I'm glad you guys got to see how I was thinking about it. That's the most important thing. Do you have a bearish bias now? Yeah, like I was saying, I'm going to watch how price prints today. So my goal for today was just to observe how price traded into my key levels. So now that we have traded... my apologies. Now that we've traded into my key level, what I will do is I will just monitor price and see how the day closes. I have no more objectives intraday, and I want to see how this daily SIBI reacts and what structure we put in. Right? I want to see if we reject the daily SIBI, in which case, yes, because again, I'm still bearish higher time frame. You guys, I did my weekly analysis a couple days ago in the server. Like I talked about how I'd like to see NASDAQ trade into this SIBI and then potentially even trade lower. I would still like to see a distribution into this imbalance from CPI, potentially. So here is the CPI imbalance. I would like to see if price wants to reach into this CPI imbalance on the hourly chart. So that would be a higher time frame bearish point of interest. If price wants to give us a move lower. Right? We'll have to see. And I'm just going to keep monitoring structure. And again, if we look at a dealing range, the concept of premium and discount, this looks like a stop hunt and a potential market maker sell model retracing, right? The last impulse leg we can use is something like this. And we have, barely come into discount. So we might want to come back into maybe something like OTE of this range, right? Come back into these inefficiencies. Who knows? We'll see. But yeah, this is kind of where my long-term perspective is. And I'm just monitoring price each day to see how price reacts. What did I say about the second folder? Yeah, so the second folder right, at 10 a.m., which is going to be in a couple minutes here, I said it may distribute us into our draw on liquidity. But because we got the conditions for expansion from the first folder, and then we actually did reach into the draw on liquidity, what I can now say is that the second folder I will not be trading because it is lower probability because I have no more buy side objectives. So my objectives for a draw on liquidity have already been met by that first folder's expansion, which is why it's nice to study both, right? If you can get an entry on the first one, take it, because sometimes, like I said, you'll go to the very beginning of the stream and I said there's a couple outcomes, right? Either 830 manipulates and then 10 expands, or we manipulate before 830, expand at 830, and then maybe reverse at 10, right? There's two outcomes. And today we got this one. And today we got this one rather, right? Where 830 expanded and then we get a reversal from our buy side liquidity. But other days, you might get 830 doing the exact opposite and going like this, trading lower and then 10 a.m. expanding, right? So we'll have to see. I don't know. Right now we could still trade higher. There's still maybe trading into this wick, CE on the weekly. But my objectives for the day have been met. So there's no more trades left for me on the day. Do you only trade red folder days? I tend to only use full size and full leverage on red folder days. Yeah. Sometimes I will trade days without red folder news, especially if I'm with like my Discord and we're reading price together, because I think there's lower time frame and maybe less high probability setups. So I'll risk less. I'll usually risk about half as much as I do on a red folder day. Thanks. Yeah. I love teaching about my trading style, right? I take the best of what I know from all forms of ICT and smart money concepts. Am I Muslim? Yeah, I am Muslim. Yeah. I'm from Canada, Eastern Canada. Yeah. Are you Muslim, Tifa? Any other Muslims in the chat? I know Yusuf's Muslim as well. And I know I got some questions on Twitter about if trading is allowed within the religion, and at least my interpretation is that I'm not gambling, right? I'm executing on a known expectancy. It's a business model, so because it's not a gamble, it's permissible within the context. If that's a question you were wondering. I get a lot of questions like that on my Twitter though about if I believe that it's haram or halal to trade, and I don't think, as long as you're not gambling, right, you're absolutely permissible to trade, because what you're not supposed to do is gamble. And we don't gamble. As you can see today, there was nothing gambling about what we did, right? We had defined risk, we had defined stop loss, we had defined TP, and we just traded alongside of a business plan. And that's essentially like running any business, taking a calculated risk. So yeah, that's my perspective on that question, even though you didn't ask it. I've just got a lot of questions on that, so maybe I'll talk about it here. I missed the start of the stream. Can you show where you entered? Yeah, of course. So what I did was I waited for us to trade into this hourly imbalance you can see here. Inside of this hourly imbalance, we formed a smart money divergence between the S&P and the NASDAQ. And then from that, I entered on this order block. So this was a state of delivery changing to bullish order flow. As we retested the change in state of delivery, or the order block, I got involved and I traded from this order block here. I'll put a position tool so you can see. I traded from this order block into the buy side liquidity targets here. There was also some equal highs that I took partials at. So I took one partial here at 47 or 45 points. I took another partial at the London highs at 90, and then held my last 1/3 to 100. So in total, it averaged out, right? I risked this low here. It was about 3 point something R in total. Maybe just under, yeah, maybe just about 3 R. So that was the trade that I took. And you'll be able to watch the recording after and stuff as well. I do say bagel, and I say bag, and I say flag, and I get roasted by my students all the time. Apparently I have a Canadian accent. I've never even considered saying bag. It's always been bag. How many points is my stop loss? Good question. My stop loss is always based on structure. So it's never defined, but my risk is defined. So I'll risk a certain amount of dollars, 300, 500, and then I will adjust my contract size based on my stop loss. So depending on how many points I need to risk, I will adjust number of contracts I use. Any ideas on Bitcoin? Yeah, I was actually charting Bitcoin for longs a couple weeks ago, but right now, right, so what we did is we traded below this weekly imbalance, which I was using as a reference last week. Whoops, sorry. It's this weekly imbalance in here. We traded below it. And now if we form an SMT at these lows, potentially, I'd be interested. Let me see. No, there's no SMTs at these weekly lows yet. So I'm looking for potentially Bitcoin. I don't know on the daily. Let me see. I'm still looking for this low, sell side liquidity on Bitcoin. I'm more bearish now. I could put in a failure swing. Eventually, I will be targeting the buy stops. So once we get a reversal in price, we have equal highs at the all-time highs, and we also have equal highs up here. So eventually, I will be long on Bitcoin, and I will swing it. This is our buy side liquidity. So I will eventually be trading this, but right now, at the moment, I'm not. I'm just waiting to see if we can sweep out this low first, and then form an SMT. Is that 7 a.m. candle a propulsion block? Our propulsion block at 7 a.m. 1 hour candle. So the change in state of delivery in the overnight session, right, actually happens here at that 4 p.m. candle, which you can see. Like right here, we've shifted delivery state higher on this candle, but we do have order blocks right here and here and here. But I consider this consecutive set of down close candles to actually be the primary order block. So if any order blocks that come off of here, say for example, we trade lower and we put in a down close candle into that area, right? And then we trade higher, this would be a propulsion block for me to trade higher from. Yeah. The propulsion block, for reference, this is a propulsion block right here. So this is a down close candle that trades into our state of delivery change, right? This down close candle. And then as price comes back into this candle, it's a propulsion block. Likewise, right? We have this stop hunt, right? SMT in the weekly internal range, changes state of delivery, so this becomes the order block. And you can see just the precision that's offered in the order block, right, to the tick, and then this becomes the propulsion block. And again, you can see the precision offered by this PB, right? Beautiful dynamics of price delivery inside that propulsion block from that order block. Good question, Cass. We can go through it in your one-on-one, okay? So make a note of that in our one-on-one channel to go through order blocks and propulsion blocks, and in our one-on-one we'll do that. Cass is one of my students. Peace out, Yusuf. How do you calculate the contract sizing? Great question. So what I tend to do, or what I do every time actually, I enter my position like this, and I adjust my contract, I adjust my risk to a certain dollar. So in this case, it's 300. And then you'll notice as I drag my stop loss, the quantity here is changing. So if I want to take this trade, I can risk 4 micros on this trade. If I want to trail below this low, I can only risk 2 micros on this trade. So I'll use a fixed dollar loss. What was your thinking process on deciding to enter the next candle or entry versus waiting for it to retrace back on NQ? Yeah, so my entry model, one of my entry models, is using the change in state of delivery. And I also talked about it on stream, how I thought this might be a breakaway gap. So this in here, I believe to be a breakaway gap because of the way in which this candle offered buy side, sell side, and then a buy side expansion. This becomes a redistributed, rebalanced area of price in here. And we also flip up a time frame. You're going to notice we have inversed this 15-minute FVG, and we have changed delivery state with this order block. So I want you to now look at the bodies holding that change in delivery state from this order block on the 15-minute chart, which led me to believe that we would not retrace this 5-minute breakaway gap, and therefore I would need to use an order block to get involved in price. Now, that might sound complicated, but if you watch enough of my stuff, you'll realize that's a very common entry technique I use. I hope that wasn't too complicated. I know that probably sounds a bit complicated. But I essentially was framing a breakaway gap, so I knew I didn't want to wait for the retracement to happen. I was anticipating, right, that we would not retrace it back into the range, and we'd instead be supported by this right here, which becomes our block. And you can see the bodies here holding it very nicely. Cool. Hope that answers your question. If you have more questions, DM me about it. I'll try and answer a bit more specifically. Any other chance? I'll check Discord. Yeah, Rob. I'll hop on Discord as soon as I end the stream. Yep. What broker do you use? I use Apex, so Ninja and Rhythmic. And Rhythmic's been giving problems recently, I know. That's why you'll see me checking my phone every once in a while to make sure there's no funny business going on with my Rhythmic, because I've heard about some orders being, like yesterday, I mean, for context, I woke up to my broker placing me in orders when I logged on, and I didn't ever execute, so that was a bit suspect. But you know, these things happen with everyone, so it's not just like an Apex thing. It's just like it's a part of the game. What's up, Ellis? How's it going, bro? Was it ever tempting to get long during Asia? Yeah, absolutely. I was framing a classic buy day, so when I saw this SMT at the previous day low, right in here, I was very tempted to go long. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be on stream tomorrow, so I want to take an entry with everyone on stream so they can see how I approach playing continuations. But yeah, I was at one point in time very, very tempted to just get long in Asia and hold. But I was like, you know what? I'll come tomorrow and we'll get an entry on stream with everyone. Okay, let me quickly see what Rob said in the Discord. Nice. My student Willie just made good money today. He's also trading intraday models. It's fantastic. I don't know if he's on the stream, but good trade, Willie. Fantastic trade. Yo, it's actually awesome. It's so awesome going through Discord, like seeing everyone take the trade with their own thesis. Like in the Discord, you'll see everyone did their own analysis. They have their own charts here, and most people ended up taking this trade. Dude, it's so awesome. So fucking awesome to see everyone take that fucking trade. It's because everyone had their own analysis too. I'm not seeing anyone like saying like W signal service. Rob, I'll respond to your DM in the DMs. Yeah, you have to keep paying, Rob. Like for the monthly activation, you have to keep paying like $30 a month, but you can keep the contract, or it stays open, so they won't like not give you your PA if you don't like buy it within a couple days. But they'll have to pay like $30 each month to keep renewing it. Yeah, it's a bit shitty. I'm cooked. Well, Rob. I'll DM you if you maybe I can spot you for the account. Just DM me. I mean, we'll talk in the DMs. I'm talking out loud even though I'm talking to you in the DM. Sorry. I believe in you, so let's figure something out. I can spot you. Okay, I'll talk to you after the stream. I'll like DM you after the stream. We'll figure it out. Don't worry. We'll figure it out. Okay, cool. I'm gonna answer a few more questions, and I'm also gonna hop off because we trade so we can live, not the other way around. Let's see. I mean, 10 a.m. is still reaching higher. I have no other draws on liquidity, guys. What I would say is that I have my key level right here from last week. So this wick right here could be the next draw on liquidity potentially. That's the only thing I would say. This is my key level. That's the last point which I would be like if I was still holding contracts, I might take one more contract over here. But that's it. Other than that, yeah, nothing. I have to study how the rest of the day prints. The FVG is under the order block. There's actually a couple reasons why that's a breakaway gap, living your purpose. So I have a full lecture actually in my Discord on framing breakaway gaps. It's like a 2.5 hour lecture on what constitutes high probability FVGs for retracement versus breakaways. And I use the third candle method. I use breakers and order blocks. And we also look at time frame alignment. So if you want to join the server, there's a lecture in there that answers that question in like very detailed words. But in short, the reason why I thought that was a breakaway was because of the redistributed rebalanced PD array on your 5-minute chart that we talked about, and then also the order block breaker and the third candle closing above the second candle. And if that doesn't make sense, watch that lecture. Yeah, it's exactly how I use fair value gaps every day. Do you think these concepts ever stop working? I don't think so. There's no reason to suspect that. And if they do stop working, I will figure out the next concepts that work and I will trade those. Why didn't NQ respect the 4-hour BPR? Because the order flow here is bullish. So when we are in bullish order flow, we expect price to draw in to our higher time frame liquidity targets, moving from this internal weekly to this internal and external on the daily. So we do not expect to be offered resistance by these PD arrays. Now, once we draw out and we reach our liquidity, it's anyone's game, right? We could reverse from here. Price could do this. But when order flow is bullish, this is a very clean market maker buy model. So I do not expect this PD array to hold. I don't expect this breaker to hold. In fact, you'll notice we actually reaccumulate inside of this breaker, right? So yeah, that's why the order flow is bullish. Let's see if price can trade into our key level. This was awesome. We had this level. If you guys look at my Twitter, I had this overlapping 4-hour wick, right? Since down here, since Monday. So it'd be super cool to see a trade into that, just to confirm that we had the right level. How do we join Discord? It's the pinned link, by the way. So it says live trade with me every day. All my lectures are in there as well. So if you join that, if you click on that WAP link and you join premium, the first thing you should do when you join the server is go to the lectures and start watching the lectures, because all the concepts that I'm kind of talking about here, I have like full 2-3 hour lectures on for all of them. You must be so proud as a teacher, man. It's a different type of fulfillment. Oh, totally, man. I love it. Like I love my job. My job being a mentor is the most fulfilling job to have. And yeah, like you make money from trading. Yes, money's awesome. And you make money from teaching. Yes, money's great, but you need fulfillment. In my opinion, you always need fulfillment in what you're doing. And I don't know, teaching is like the highest form of fulfillment. I love it. I've always had a passion for it. And it's super cool to see like my students who make money or like they get payouts and they show me like how their lives are changing because of what they're learning. There's no higher validation, bro. It's the best thing in the world. No worries, D. Howie. Nice, yeah, that's a good entry. Living your purpose. How many trades you get in a week? Probably around 2 to 3. Yeah, 2 to 3 to 4 depends. I put on full risk for these types of trades though. Like I will take trades that are lower time frame models, like lower time frame market maker models, but I will only put on full size and full risk for the higher time frame distribution trades, which are usually twice a week. Okay guys, this was a crazy long stream. There'll be a lot for you guys to study from this stream. I'm gonna hop off. I have a whole bunch of DMs to answer. I have to meet with some of my students, and we'll do these more. If you guys like this, right? Show me you like it. Give me a like. Leave a comment. Let me know you guys enjoy these streams, and I'll try and do them, more frequently as well. And as always, if you want, you can trade with me every day in my Discord. There's lots of education in there, like 50 hours of lectures. And say hi if you end up joining, and tell me you came from the YouTube, because it'd be cool to see who joins and what they're learning. Like if they're gonna learn from the YouTube to come there. Okay, cool. I'm gonna hop off, end the stream. Let me know if you have any questions. Put them in the comments below. I'll respond to all the comments. Take it easy, guys. Have a good one.